guys, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for watching What Is Good. I'm Jade if you're new here, and today I have an update on the ongoing situation between Sugar Baby Chidinma, Ojukwu and Sugar Daddy. You all know the drift, right? I don't need to go into yet another rambling about what happened. As you know, Chidinma allegedly sent her Sugar Daddy Usifo Ataga to thy kingdom come. So we're going to be talking about one of Chidinma's friends who recently granted an interview after Arise News reporter Leila Johnson Salami tracked him down. So during the interview, Chidinma's friend, who identified himself as Don Pedro, said he couldn't and still cannot believe the story he's hearing about Chidinma. He says Chidinma is a very quiet person who keeps to herself most times. He insinuates that Chidinma might be under some form of duress and she's being forced to admit those things that she probably didn't do. He seemed to think that the things that Chidinma has been accused of is out of character for her. Just take a look at this and I'll be back with the rest of my thoughts.
The case on the murder of the CEO of Super TV, Michael Usifo Ataga, is far from over. His suspect Chidinma Ojukwu is being held at the Adekunle Yaba police station. But the Ataga family have asked the police to go beyond her arrest, as it's believed that there is far more to the story. But who is Chidinma? And how do people who know her feel towards this? I met up with one of her friends, Don Pedro, who expressed his views towards the harrowing situation.
So you knew Chidinma pretty well?
Yeah, I know,
her pretty well?
Yeah, I know her pretty well to some extent. To some extent, at least. I know her well. Let me just say I know her well.
Who is the Chidinma that you know? Not the Chidinma that you've been hearing about in the media for the past couple of weeks.
Okay, the Chidinma that I know is totally different from the Chidinma that is being castigated and criticized every day on the social media. The Chidinma that I know is a friend of mine. She's a nice person, she's kind, and she's supportive. She's my classmate and my coursemate as well. She doesn't really like talking much to people. She was always in school, except for this year. You know, due to the pandemic, Corona, school was closed throughout last year. And we now resumed session this year, January, but she didn't come this year, as in, that was last semester. So I called her all this time, what's up? We're having classes, where are you? What's popping? What's going on? And she'll be like, oh, I have some work stuff that I'm attending to. I have some things to do, because we're part-time student though, and our school fees is quite high, on the high side. So she was like, she's trying to do some jobs so she can get some money and, you know, for her academics and all that and all that. I haven't seen Chidinma this year. I haven't seen her this year. Last time I saw her was on her birthday. That was sometimes last year. She's the video vixen in my video, Anita. And Chidinma is a nice person. Well, looking at the way everything is, and even I watched the video on the social media, I felt like the Chidinma I know, I felt like probably there's more to it. Maybe they made her to say what actually she shouldn't have said, you know, because thinking about it sometimes, like sometimes when I'm alone on my own, I wonder probably maybe her life was in danger and she was trying to defend herself.
So you guys just saw that. Is it me, or does this Don Pedro guy sound as though he's just tossing all kinds of idea out there, defense idea, hoping that one of them will stick? I mean, that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting, that he's just throwing out all kinds of idea as if to test it out and see which one is going to stick. And also, I kind of get a sense, even though he didn't come out to say it verbatim, but I kind of get a sense that he's insinuating that maybe the police may have coerced Chidinma to say those things, to admit to those things, perhaps because Mr. Usifo is a very rich man and the Nigerian police are under a lot of pressure to solve the case. And that's the kind of vibe, even though he's not saying it, but I'm reading between the lines and I'm kind of sensing that he's just insinuating also that maybe the police may have coerced Chidinma, forced her into admitting to a crime that she did not commit. That's the vibe that I'm getting, Sha, from the interview. But if you guys are getting something else, let me know in the comment section down below. Like, I understand his obligation to be loyal to his friend. I get it. And I hear what he's saying. But at the same time, you see the shock and the surprise that he's expressing. That is the same shock and surprise that neighbors often express when they find out that their neighbor is an ass murderer. Literally the same thing they say. Literally. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that this thing happened. I cannot believe this person, because this person is oftentimes such a quiet, such a kind person. They always say the person is such a model neighbor who they are so happy to have in their life. I could never imagine them doing something like that. It's the same thing. It's like same expression, same everything. So like, I get it. It is also not lost on me that he's echoing the same sentiments that many people, including Usifo's family and many others online, have echoed, that Chidinma could not have acted it out alone, or that, you know, she's just maybe covering up for somebody else. She's just rolling over and taking the fault for somebody else because maybe she's afraid for her life or something, you know. And for the people who think that way, like, I understand, especially those people who continue to repeat that there is no way she could have acted alone, you know, because of the size of the individuals involved, because of her size in comparison to his size. Because according to reports, Mr. Usifo was a boxer who boxed for leisure and that he was physically fit, compared to Chidinma, who is small and tiny in nature. And that she's too small to like overpower him. And to those people, I will continue to say to you guys, once a person is incapacitated as a result of DRG, they are literally at the mercy of their perpetrator. Yep, you have no idea how powerful those things can be. And while we are on this topic, I wanted to share the video of Chidinma's latest interview again, where she contradicted herself whilst narrating the sequence of events of that fateful night. This is also for those who wanted me to play the video in its entirety. So this is for you guys. And if you watch the video, you will see that Chidinma had changed significantly her story with regards to the sequence of events of that night, what transpired. Just take a look and I'll be back.
When I stabbed him the first one twice, I threw the knife on the bed.
Until a few days ago, 21-year-old Chidinma Adora Ojukwu was not known to the public. However, her desire to have an enjoyable and quiet time with her newfound lover, the chief executive officer of an organization, turned SAR. And today, Chidinma is right inside the nets of the Nigerian police, answering questions to why she had to stab to death her lover.
I was on drugs, and also during the struggle that he was trying to strangle me, that was when I used the knife on him.
Chidinma says she has been into drugs since she was 19 years, unknown to anybody, including her parents.
It was in a party where drugs was given. That was when I took drugs at first time.
Chidinma informed me that she met the deceased just a few weeks ago in Lagos. And until their first quiet time together in a hotel, she never knew the deceased won't meet her financial needs. So she decided to do things her own way.
That time he was sleeping. I tied his hand so that by the time he wakes up, he'll be able to give me what I want, and I'll go.
I don't understand. You tied a man's hand.
Yes.
How? How were you able to do that?
It was already high, so he didn't feel it. And it took more than I did.
After listening attentively to Chidinma's confession, respondents are wondering if it wasn't a premeditated crime.
No, I didn't.
Because you said you tied his hands.
Yeah, for him not to, when he wakes, for him not to attack me.
But you had the mind to steal from him.
Yes. Yes.
So what would you want to steal from him? After all, you was a boyfriend and two of you were enjoying yourselves. So why would you want to have the mind to kill him, to hurt him?
Yes, I needed the money.
After you had killed him, you still took away his ATM cards to go draw money from his account.
That's because I needed the money. So when he was gone, I just took everything and left.
If you had asked him, please, sir, or my love, after you called him, I need money from you for this, do you think he would have been so stingy not to give to you?
I asked him, but he said he didn't have.
And you knew he had the money?
Yes.
Chidinma says her dream is to be a successful actress and musician. She is presently a 300-level student of mass communication in the University of Lagos. With this development, what action is the university authorities taking since Chidinma is still a student of the school?
That she's a student of Unilag is not an issue. When her fate will be decided by the judiciary.
Will she be readmitted if pardoned by the law?
So if the girl has shown this, that she can kill, that she has what it takes to do all these things, I don't think she's fit to be among other peers like that, because she can do more dangerous things, like I said.
I took a trip to Chidinma's home at Alagomeji area of Yaba in Lagos. The gates of the premises were under lock and key. Maybe out of fear of the unknown, no single person in the vicinity agreed to say anything to me about Chidinma or the crime she committed. Back to Chidinma. All through my interaction with her, Chidinma was in tears and blames her action on the absence of her mother in the home.
I make decisions that sometimes I need someone to talk to, but I just don't see it, I just do it.
As it is now, respondents say there is more to the story than already heard. Newsline will update you as events unfold.
So you guys just saw that. So what do you make of that? I personally just feel like every time she opens her mouth to say something, she changes her story. I'm particularly playing this video because there are some people who are basically of the opinion that, that Chidinma acted in self-defense, that she was afraid for her life and all of that. I don't know. But my thing is this: why does she keep changing her story? Or maybe there are some truth to what Don Pedro said, that maybe she's having to roll over, and take all of the blame just because she's afraid of what they might do to her. And I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you guys think that there are some people that Chidinma is more afraid of than she is of spending the rest of her life in prison or even facing capital punishment? What do you guys think is going on here? And as for Mr. Usifo Ataga, personally, I think it was Mr. Usifo Ataga's greed and lack of self-control that led to his ultimate demise. If this man had just helped this girl with no strings attached, without asking for anything in return, he would not have been standing in front of his maker asking questions about how he led his life a few days before his 50th birthday. If at all something happened and he ended up meeting his maker, part of his good deed, part of the things that he did on earth would have been, oh, I helped a 300 level student, pay her school fees with no strings attached, no quid pro quo or whatever. But instead now he's facing his maker a few days before his born day, and now he's having to answer some questions. This man could have offered to sponsor this girl's education to completion. He could have done this without a quid pro quo, and it would have been registered as one of his good deeds on earth. And guess what? Because of how much money he already has, this probably would not have meant anything, would not have left any kind of dent in his bank account, and he could have won that badge of honor so proudly. But instead, this is where we are. So unfortunate. Anyways, this is where I'm going to end this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you have not already done so. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.